pretzels.
Oh wait, actually that would be a funny
Oreos.
topic. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
No.
Brenden, why you always gotta be negative about this stuff? Okay. Hi, hello.
No.
Welcome. That's right. You changed your icon again. Okay. Welcome to the Insert Name Here podcast. I am joined with myself, Austin, Brenden,
No.
who
No.
he's so negative today.
Today only. I'm negative.
And Mitchell.
Hi, I'm eating pretzels.
Yeah, he earlier before he started, he had a mental breakdown about Oreos or pretzels to eat.
It wasn't a mental breakdown, it was just severe indecisiveness.
He's like, what? I have two of the greatest foods ever to be
I
created.
have two great foods, and I don't know which one to eat.
Yeah. Just pour them in a
Because my
bowl.
mom sent me up here with like a fucking 3-pound bag of fucking food. It was great. I've gone through like half of it in the past 48 hours.
Nice. And Justin should be here, but I don't know what happened to him.
His
So-
internet
Fucking
just had a heart
internet shit.
attack.
His internet shit out. I got a text from my dad about it earlier, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be rough.
Yeah. Yeah, so,
So what's the time?
yeah, but my internet's been having trouble too. Like legit, it just came back 20 minutes ago, and I was like, oh, yay! Yeah, but we're filming, or not filming, but we're recording this a little late, and it's also becoming the holiday, so people are a little busier now, and yeah,
Fuck
so
my next 72 hours.
yeah. Do you have
No,
exams?
legitimately, like 72
Does-
hours from now, I'll be done with my exams.
Ooh.
Yeah, do you want to know? So you guys think you got bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's what my exam schedule looks like. I've got nothing tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I've got nothing Tuesday,
All right.
and then Wednesday, because I'm taking college classes, their exams are harder.
Yeah.
I have at 10 a.m. my organic chemistry lab or exam
Mm-hmm.
final. At noon I have my physics final, and
Oh.
at 2 p.m. I have my ecology final. Do you know what's due at midnight?
What?
On Wednesday is my final paper for my history class.
What?
I got 48 hours of nothing, and then fucking 12 to 14 hours of just like, I wish I had cocaine so that I could stay focused on all of it.
I wish I could just go. Oh my god! Why did they do that? They like pound so much on at once. It's like, all right, there you go, there you go,
Well,
there
it's
you go.
because everybody that's taking each of those classes has a different schedule. So those classes, they're just, the prof is told, this is when your final exam is.
So you
and-
okay?
It wasn't that they went, Mitchell, you have to do this day, you have to do all of yours on Wednesday, go fuck yourself. It was, hey Mitchell, you chose these classes and you're a dumb fuck. You're
this
intelligent,
is your punishment.
but you're fucking stupid. Here's
Got
your
him.
punishment. Kill yourself.
This is your punishment for wanting to learn. Yeah, but
This is your punishment for liking science!
yes. Oh, physics, huh? Boom. Yeah, how's
Physics
that
bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, that does not sound like fun. I know. I would certainly not last. I'd probably be like, well.
That's why you get a psych degree. Those things are fucking easy. They're also useless. But they're easy.
They're easy and useless.
Just, nope, I'm not finishing that joke.
No, do it. I want to hear it. I'm intrigued
Just
now.
like girls.
Oh.
That's funny.
Not wrong.
Wait, fuck. Insert town here, girls.
Yeah, no worries. I'll bleep it. Well, I'll just replace it over with thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, same thing basically. You know, it's just that gives it an area to it. But yeah. Speaking of break is coming up for a majority of us, but we recently just had Thanksgiving, and as you know, me and Brenden had a little conversation about it. But Mitchell,
Yeah.
how was your Thanksgiving, buddy?
Well, we got to. It's a shame Justin isn't here right now because there would just be a constant groan going behind me. We went to my cousin's house. They live on the other side of Grand Rapids from us.
Yeah.
Bet.
And we went there, and it's my dad's entire family. My dad has 4 younger brothers. Each of them have kids, like, except for the youngest, but his wife's pregnant, so that's awesome. It's gonna be weird having a cousin that's 20 years younger than me.
Wait,
Um,
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt your story, but something just popped up on my phone, and I looked over, and it's from YouTube, and it said, "Baby Yoda saying the N-word recommended Jesus Belloc." So,
Okay.
all right. Thanks YouTube recommending me the greatest of content.
Okay,
Let's continue the story.
Yo,
Yeah,
sorry.
so we go to my aunt and uncle's house.
Mhm.
First of all, the school that I go to for a long time, like a long time,
Mhm.
was considered the #1 party school in the state of Michigan.
Oh.
Yeah. So we're down in their basement. My cousin who goes to the one in the town right next to where y'all live.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the blue and orange one, Flying Dutchman.
Mhm.
Yeah. So he and I, we were drinking,
Mhm.
and my grandfather, after we had finished our first drink, I grabbed a beer, and one of my uncles was talking about like sour beers, and like he was giving this whole thing on me of like to me of like, well, this is what it's gonna taste like, da 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 da, you know, like
Yeah.
going if you're gonna drink, at least
No.
know what the fuck you're. And my grandfather goes, Jay, he's not of age yet. And I turned to my grandfather and went, you did go to Central, right? And he goes, well, yeah, I believe so. And was it fucking hazy? Like, were you in such a fucking stupor? The look on his face was like, because he gives a shit all the time, like all of us.
Mhm.
And I usually just kind of like shut up and don't really say anything about
you
it.
don't retort.
Yeah, and
Fuck.
I did, and the look on his face was this like mixture of like, what the fuck did you just say? And like, holy shit, he actually talked back. No, but the night goes on. Or I shouldn't say night. This was at like
Yeah.
1 p.m.
Yeah.
So the day goes on. I figure out that two of my cousins are, first of all, they're 12 and 10,
Mhm.
just to give an idea. And then sometime within the next 6 months, I think in the spring, they're going to Vegas.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah. I got fucking stories on top of stories from Vegas. And none of them involve me drinking. It involves plenty of fucking other people drinking.
Yeah.
But that's
not
one for a
me.
different podcast.
Yeah.
So I told them a couple of the stories. My personal favorite one being when Justin was like 6, was like the first time he was out there.
Yeah.
And so to get to any of the not casino or strip club places,
Yeah.
you need to go through the casinos and or strip clubs. So there's this one casino in Vegas that went, hey, everybody comes here for casinos and strip clubs. Why don't we put them together? It's called the Pleasure Pit.
Yeah.
And every table game, like blackjack or poker, there's a fucking strip pole right behind it. I'm not even kidding. Like, the dealer's there, he's giving you your cards, taking your bets, and behind him, there's a fucking stripper.
It's like,
Yeah, and so we're getting through there to get back to our hotel. It's like 10 p.m. Vegas time, and it was our first night out there. So for me and Justin, it was like being up at 1 a.m. And it's Justin just stops. Like, there's this path that you have to stay on.
Yeah.
Justin just stops in the middle of it and just kind of starts like looking like just confused at this woman. And my mom has to come back and be like, Justin, come on, we're moving. No, but Thanksgiving, we get through the rest of the night. We had told Justin before we left our house that he was going to be driving home. He was not happy about that. He was like, what do you mean I'm going to be driving home? And we were like, yeah, the rest of us are going to drink. And he goes, fuck, no, I'm not dealing with all three of you. And we're like, too bad. So we get, towards the end of the night, everybody except the ones that were hosting and us had left. And so we bring my cousin's PlayStation downstairs and we set up Quiplash. Let's just say there was a reason we waited for everyone else to leave.
Oh.
I
Oh.
figured out that my mother and my aunt both still have the sense of humor of a 13-year-old. Like, they got some question on, like, what's the worst thing to make a mattress out of, and they both put in used condoms. Yeah. So, there was that, and then the kicker is one of my uncles told a story about his wife.
Oh.
And how they went to this party. It was like a bridal shower or a baby shower. I don't know specifically what it was, but it was
It
some
was a shower of
celebration
some
for,
sorts. Yeah.
It was either a shower of some sort or like this woman had finished her like veterinary degree, like something. I don't know exactly what, but apparently, while my uncle was driving there, his wife had been texting the people that were hosting it.
Yeah.
So they live in. Sorry, you're gonna have to bleep this. They live in, and the party was in, so it's like an hour drive.
Yeah.
So they get there, and in the car ride, apparently my aunt had talked with the other people. My uncle was under the impression that, there's a couple of drinks. We're gonna have a couple of drinks, but it's gonna, remain calm. Apparently the plan had switched for everyone else to let's fucking party. And so they get there, my aunt, who, like, the entire time I've known her, I don't think I've ever seen her truly drunk. Like, she's just a very, like,
Casual.
casual person. And fucking, he's telling us this story in my other uncle's basement, with the entire family standing around, except for the wives, who were all upstairs preparing food.
Yeah.
I know that sounds bad. They all just like to cook.
Yeah.
If we
No
were
worries,
all
this
like
family's
everybody,
not sexist.
Yeah, everybody in my family likes to cook, but if we were all in the kitchen, nobody would be able to do anything.
Yeah.
So
It'd be like Gordon Ramsay, the entire family just like, all right.
yeah, so they're the aunts and grandmothers and whatever. They're all upstairs, like, getting the everything that's not the turkey basically prepared. And my uncle's telling the story. He goes, yeah, so my wife gets hammered throughout the night. And he goes, there's this point where I'm like, if she finishes this, I think it was a White Claw, we're past the point of no return. So I grab the White Claw out of her hand, and she just tears it back, goes, nobody puts baby in a corner, chugs the rest of it, and slams the can on the ground. He goes, oh god, it's gonna be that type of night. So he goes, now when it was time to leave, she was barely functioning, like she was stumble walking and somebody had to help her to the car. He goes, then she got to the car door, got it open, we got her into the car, and she goes, I have to pee. So they took her back inside. He goes, they were gone for like half a fucking hour. I don't know what the hell happened in there, but like, it was apparently important enough that they were spending a half an hour on it. He goes, she gets back out to the car, gets in, we drive down the roads, we get about 3 miles down the road, and she starts pulling on my sleeve. So I pull off to the side of the road, she opens up the door, doesn't even undo her seatbelt, leans out, and does her business.
Yeah.
He goes, so, I'm there for a couple minutes, figure, alright, that's it. He drives, keeps driving, another 5 to 10 miles down the road, she does it again. And he was like, at this point, I realized that she had left her purse there. And I just was like, nope, we're not fucking going back. She can deal with that tomorrow. Somebody can fucking UPS it to us. I don't care. So you keep driving, and she gets like showing signs again, and he pulls into a gas station, goes into the front, and goes, all right, dude, I know this is gonna sound weird. Do you have grocery bags and Pepto-Bismol? And the guy just goes, yep, right here. And he goes, how many times do you get asked that? And he goes, you don't even want to know. So,
I mean, that's kind of what you should be expected if you work at a gas station. It's like, all right, just gotta have the necessities off to the side.
He goes, we get back home next morning. She wakes up and she's like, She was like, yeah, it was, a nice night. And he goes, do you remember anything of what happened? She's like, well, yeah, did I? He goes, yeah, no, that's like, you were not conscious for the entire ride home. She was just like, what? And he just, no.
No, just like, what, bro? I swear I was like, no, you weren't.
No, you were not fine. You were. But like the kicker is that my cousin and I had been talking, and so we came into this story like halfway through, and we're like, Jay, who are you talking about? And he goes, I'm talking about my wife, and we just broke.
Yeah, it's my wife.
No, keep in mind, his wife has a doctorate.
Oh.
She's a veterinarian.
Oh.
This is not a stupid woman. This is a very intelligent woman.
This is a doctor.
She also called my grandparents out on getting their dog fat. It was great.
What?
She was like, "Yeah, Darby's looking a little big. What have you been feeding her?" And they're like, "Well, she wasn't really eating, so we mixed wet food in with the dry food and then put shredded cheese on that."
What?
That's like you don't do that. Fucking their last dog was just a fucking vacuum for food. Like would literally eat the entirety of her food in like 15 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And they just got used to that. And so this dog kind of grazes more. And they're like, fuck, she's not eating. Because she'd leave her food alone for 20 minutes and then come back later.
It's like you've turned the dog into a roly-poly. What is...
Yeah. No, people make fun of Zeke for being thick. This dog is just a fucking chungus in the worst kind of way.
Chungus. Oh my god! Wait, Big Chungus. That was the beginning of the decade, or not decade.
No, it wasn't. That was like
meant,
maybe beginning of the year.
Yeah, I messed it up. That was the beginning of the year meme. God,
Bruh.
we had a lot of memes in 2019.
There were a fucking lot.
There were a lot of good ones. Oh.
Also, RIP Juice WRLD.
Yeah, he died today.
I still see his shadows in my room.
Too soon.
No, it was legitimately a terrible way to go out.
Yeah.
Like I've not heard anything bad about that dude. Apparently he had like a seizure in an airport and just like wasn't able to get back from it.
I keep seeing like the news reports and everything. It's all like reportedly, and I'm like, so true? Because like when I see reportedly, I get like hesitant. I'm like,
it just means that they don't have answers for sure yet.
Yeah.
That's just what the facts so far have been.
Yeah. See, but when I see that, I also think of Miley Cyrus dying on Yahoo.com. You know.
Fucking if it comes up in the National Enquirer, don't fucking believe it.
Yeah, but yeah, that was a sad thing to learn about today. It's like, bro.
Meanwhile, we're at like doing choreography at Alex.
Oh yeah. Earlier, me, Brenden, and Nick had to go to well, he's gonna be soon my coworker house because he is working on a Star Wars film thing, and him
Is
and
this
Nick,
Alex?
Staples.
Okay. He's a cool dude.
And we, or not we, but him and Nick went through some choreography.
Fight choreography.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
With their sabers.
Choreography.
Corgis?
No, just take geography
Yeah.
and put core instead of the letter G.
Choreography. There you go.
Choreography.
Choreography.
Oh God.
There you go.
Dang it, Austin! You know
Down.
what? Just shut up.
But yeah,
Shut up. Yo.
but yeah, what they did was really cool. It was like watching them learn it. It was like, oh, bro. Yeah, but that's what me and Nick and Brenden did earlier today. But
I
yeah.
know. I kind of got inspired by that. Like just seeing them doing that, I was like, yo, this is actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That reminded me of when I was younger, and I, like, when I was, like, 10 or 11, and me and my cousins, we would go downstairs in my old house, and my basement in my old house used to be, like, big and unfinished, so, like, who cares if you hit something? So I remember we used to just take my lightsabers and we would have like duels and stuff, but we wouldn't like premeditate any of it. We would just like improv. It was all improv. So like one of us would hit our hands and be like and be like, "Are you okay?" It's like, "Yeah, just roll, just go with it, go with it." It's like, okay.
So that, did you guys ever have the Nerf swords?
No, I actually. I never
Those are a
had-
fun time.
Oh,
My
actually,
cousins
wait, I did
had
have a
the,
Nerf sword.
My cousins had the regular Nerf swords, and then they had the fucking Nerf claymores, like the wide ass ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they had like those. They had the mace. They had the shields. Like they had all of the like not Nerf bullet Nerf things.
Yeah.
And so we would go into their basement, which is funny enough, the basement where all the shit happened in Thanksgiving. Before it was finished, though, we would just go down there and we would like beat the ever loving fuck out of each other with these things.
Yeah.
And we'd come upstairs with like fucking bruises, and our parents would be like, "Do you guys just all hate each other or something?" And we're like, "No,
No.
it's swords. You're supposed to hit each other."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. You're
I have
supposed
the
to
intention
be-
to kill the other person. Yes.
I mean,
With
that was the
his
other
Nerf
thing
sword.
that I taught my little cousins was I taught them what sting pong was.
Mhm.
You know what sting pong is, right?
Explain.
No, but I think I like.
Sting pong. So it's ping pong, but if you lose the point, you have to pull either the front or the back of your shirt up so that there's exposed skin, and the other person gets to, from their side of the ping pong table, just slam the ball as hard as they can at you. The last time we played it, we ended up with welts all up our back. It was fucking great.
Someone's like, "Did you go, paintballing?" No. No.
No, that was at another thing with those family members.
Oh, nice. But
I
I
also
did.
taught them about knuckles with a pool table, where you grab the side of the pool table
Oh,
and you
yeah.
slam the balls and try and pull it back as close to
Oh.
it hitting you as possible.
God. Oh. But I only had one Nerf sword. I never had a lot of Nerf guns. I had like one big Nerf gun, and I had like a medium-sized Nerf gun, and then I had a Nerf sword, and that was about it.
I had a red lightsaber staff, one blue lightsaber, and like a Nerf sword.
I had a lot of lightsabers too.
I was the one with the lightsaber staff, so that was like, I'm pretending to be like Darth Maul and shit, and I just like chased down my little brother who had the Nerf sword.
It's like, look at me, my blade will
I
cut
also,
through you.
I don't know. Do you guys remember the Nerf mace?
Yeah, the three-sided thing.
Yeah, that my
Yeah.
older brother had that too. And
No, my cousins had the fucking hatchet. You know, the one that was like one-sided and had the like
Oh,
thing
yeah,
out
yeah,
there.
yeah.
That one, the goal, and I did this a few times, was like you wait until somebody swings at you, and then you pull the hatchet in the other direction and you catch the sword and pull it out of their hand.
Oh.
God, I remember just having a lot of Nerf fights at my friend's house because my friend had he had a humongous Nerf collection, and I remember one time we were playing it and he was sitting on his stairs, and he had a rapid fire machine gun one, so it was just like
Oh, the belt-fed one?
yeah, and I was just sitting behind like a footstool with the weakest weapons, and I was just like, dude.
Let's be clear, the small-ass pistols were the ones that always shot the farthest.
Yeah, but but we were
So-
doing it on if it actually hit you, you were dead or whatever, or you would actually take damage. So because I'm getting pelted behind this footstool with all these Nerf bullets, and I'm trying not to get hit. Because we had some rules where it's no, if you get hit in the shoulder, you can't use that shoulder. If you get whatever.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm just all
Right.
doo. and it's
Part-based damage.
just- yeah. It was a lot of fun, and God.
So, do you wanna? You guys were talking about yesterday. You were at house filming.
Today.
Oh, today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you want to see what happened last night for me,
Sure.
and
Sure.
technically this morning for one of the people that I was playing with.
Yeah.
As you all know, you in the call. I don't know if the audience knows this. I run a D&D game for a bunch of my friends from high school and my brother, and one of the other players' brother.
Mm.
It's fine. One of my friends from high school searched up shitty fan fiction so that he would know how to write it, so that he could write an in-character shitty fan fiction. This is that.
Oh boy. Oh.
It is a legitimate thing.
Oh man, we don't have Justin here to read it. Okay.
Yeah, so just so that you know, this had everybody in that call legitimately crying for 5 minutes.
Oh
Like,
God,
I had
no.
tears running down my face, which is hard to do.
Dude, yeah. Oh my God. Wait.
I mean, if you want me to read it, I
wait.
can.
I'll attempt to read it. Chapter 1, or Aspen and the Princess.
Aspen.
Aspen.
You're an
See, I'm already
ass.
failing. Aspen and the Princess. Chapter 1. While in the search for her trusted dead men, Windra couldn't stop thinking about the magnificent bard. Aspen. Oh, Aspen.
Magnificent Bard, Aspen.
Yeah, actually, you know what? You read it.
She went over to the sparring pit to find that Aspen had just bested Bardock. Bardock is the barbarian. He's a fucking 9-foot tall dude. So, Aspen had just bested Bardock. This would never happen. In a hand-to-hand battle of strength and skill, she found herself staring at the rippling muscles of the Elegant. He was shirtless and sweating from his intense, passionate fight with Bardock. She eyed him from head to toe and knew she had to have him. Not wanting to look desperate, Windra sheepishly yells, "Oh, Aspen!" Aspen, looking up, his hair falling into all the right places. Could I talk to you for a moment? Aspen, seeing the look he has seen so many times before, yells in his deep, masculine voice, "Of course." That's not what the dude's voice sounds like at all.
Of course.
The player is very quiet, which makes this better. Aspen takes out his lute, beautifully strums a song of passion that would make any girl swoon over him, and flies over to the princess. Aspen, taking her hand, leads her to someplace more private. Aspen, I can't believe you single-handedly took down Bardock in hand-to-hand combat. No other creature could even think to possess that strength. I drink my milk. She lustfully looking over his exposed chest. Is that how you stay in such good shape? Yeah, I also eat my vegetables. The princess blushes at Aspen. You're truly a man among boys. As the princess, I order you to ravish me here and now. And that's it.
and then it ends with "got milk."
That was it. He had talked about like they were in a house and they were like preparing to sleep for the night, and he goes, "I'm just gonna leave this on this other character's bed because they like to read."
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. I was fully expecting him to just like explain what the thing
book,
that he put
yeah.
down was, and he just fucking drops that in, and we're like, oh, it's real. Start reading it.
This needs to be published immediately.
He was like,
Make this into a real book.
He was like, I have a chap. He goes, I have a chapter 2, but like, we were like, fucking do it.
It's in a rough draft stage, though. You know, it's work in progress.
Work in progress.
Oh my God, that's great.
All right, before we keep talking, I gotta go in like 10 minutes.
Oh,
All right.
Stinkus.
I got Dad.
Return of the Duels.
But
Fate of the Duel.
Duel of
Fate of the
wait,
Duel.
Fuck. Of Duel Fate, what the?
Yeah, I was thinking of
Fate's
a way to
Duel.
like rearrange it.
That wasn't the actual name.
Just Stroke Cap Dual Fate. But yeah, oh my God, fanfics. It's kind
There's
of
a difference between like purposely shitty fanfic I find hilarious.
yeah.
Shitty fanfic that they're like, this is the greatest work of all time. That's hilarious, but more because you think it's not.
Yeah, it's almost like the actual author wrote it. It's
It's like, what is it, fucking Ebony Darkness?
Yeah, Ebony Dark. Yeah, our first thing we read on the first episode. Oh my God.
It's a fucking thread through this, is fucking fanfics and
Yeah.
original characters.
I
And
remember,
us mocking them.
I remember when I was younger, I had because I was really into Sonic when I was younger, and I mean I still am, but like I was really into like making
The
my own.
lore.
Yeah, I remember I had made my,
One.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brenden.
Elise, I have something to tell you. I was gay before the light.
But I was I made my own comic called Sonic Heroes the comic, and
Oh god.
First off, the illustrations are terrible because that was like I remember I drew Sonic for the
Please
first
tell me
time.
you put it up on fucking Tumblr or something.
No, I didn't. But I remember I drew Sonic for the first time, and I was like, I'm gonna make a comic, and I legit just flipped over to the next page and started writing a comic. And it's not cringy. Well, okay, it is cringy, but it's not.
Cringy. You don't
it's not,
remember it being cringy because when you wrote it, you didn't think it was
Yeah,
cringy. If you
but
look at it now, you'll be like, "Fuck, that's cringy."
Yeah, but it wasn't cringy as in like the sense of like the Sonic fanfics that we looked at, a few episodes ago.
It's just poorly written.
Yeah, because I never like made an original OC because I knew that was cringy. Because I was like, no, ew, gross.
Those original characters.
Work within the fucking pre-established
Yeah.
world.
Yeah, but God, if I remember what the first issue was. Okay, I remember. Okay, I did throw Mario and Luigi in the first issue for a good 3 pages.
This is just sounding like the shitty version of Scoob and Shag. Like,
yeah, it
like
was
just a real shitty Scoob and Shag is all I'm hearing right now.
Yeah, it was actually. Do I remember where it is? I think I might. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna look for it real quick because I think it might be in my closet. YouTube, talk real quick. Talk about Rick and Morty season 4.
Or fucking apparently YouTube Rewind happened and it was just Watch Mojo. I never actually watched it. I've not given a fuck about that since like 2017. I was like, okay, this is just whatever. I've never actually seen the 2018 YouTube Rewind.
It's shit.
That's what I heard. It was YouTube going, hey, look, we can get fucking Will Smith in a video. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't like it because like it's just trash, and Austin made me watch it because he brought it up, and I was like, fuck. So I watched it. And it was totally a Watch Mojo video. So, yeah. Also, if you remember high school, do they still have creative writing?
I don't know what you specifically mean by that. Like a class for creative
Yeah,
writing?
yeah, class.
I never
Sorry.
took it. I just took like the most baseline fucking English classes because I hated it.
Okay, so you're the wrong person to
Like,
ask.
yeah, no, like, let's be clear. I've come up with an entire fucking fantasy world, right? Like,
Right.
I do like writing if it's something that I'm like interested in, but I fucking hate English classes
Gotcha.
because it's just English is like, and storytelling is all entirely subjective of like, I like this story or I don't
Right.
like this story. And then English classes, they go, all right, hey, you know how you like writing about things that like aren't real? Too fucking bad. You need to write a fucking 15-page research paper on some political bullshit that you really don't give a fuck about.
Yeah, that's English.
Honestly, my best, the year of English that I like absolutely was like, this is actually pretty fucking cool, was my junior year. I had, it was like his last year. He retired after my year.
Right.
He was like the theater director, and he was like, it was like American literature, and he was like all about like sticking to how it's supposed to be viewed, and like actual
Right.
like deep dive discussions on it, and not just like, hey, write this stupid fucking thing that like you don't care about. He was like, no, we're gonna do this. We're focusing on like learning. Your points in your grade will follow that. If you just focus on learning, you'll be. And I was like, dude, this is awesome. And then I had some fucking airhead for my senior year, and I fucking hated Britlit. Like, the entirety of it. Just,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that and, I don't know what your guys' opinion of Things Fall Apart was, but mine was that it was half a story, because we only read half of it.
Wait, Things Fall Apart. Is that about that one dude?
The
Indian dude?
Africa.
Africa, yeah. Why'd I say Indian? Yeah.
Because the fucking British, some white dude came in and was like, imperialism.
Yeah, and then, like, they go...
At the end of it, he kills himself.
Do you know what happens? Yeah!
Yeah, no. That's why we didn't read the whole thing, was because some guy in my year committed suicide while we were reading that. So halfway through, they were like, ooh, we're not gonna do that.
So
Right.
I couldn't find it, and also, I'm sorry.
No, it wasn't anybody that I was like, close
Affiliated
to.
with, or yeah.
Yeah, like it was like it was sad. Like I had a bunch of friends that were friends with him, but like I was like that sucks.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I was like, why do we have to not read this book just because it has similar subject matter?
What?
Like
what,
I get
what
it was
book
Things
is
Fall
it?
Apart because
Things Fall
because
Apart.
what's his
Oh.
face kills himself at the end of it,
Oh,
so they
yeah.
were like
Pawaku.
yeah, or Okonkwo, I think.
Yeah.
Okonkwo.
Kaku or whatever.
But like I was like,
Okonkwo the Okaku.
do you my thing with it was like, do you really think so little of us that like somebody killing themselves and then reading a book about a dude killing themselves for a completely different reason in a completely different space and point in history, like that it's gonna fuck us all up that much that there's just gonna be a spree of suicides? I mean, there still will be a spree of suicides because the world is kind of fucked and people under 35, whatever, basically everybody after Gen X is like fucked over and they all know it, so depression.
I feel like Things Fall Apart wasn't as sad as the first book we read, Austin. Do you remember what we read in English? The one about
it was-
Holocaust?
Yeah. That.
Oh yeah,
I remember what it was, but I do remember it being.
I
sad.
feel like that one would be more sad than actual Things Fall Apart, because, like,
Well, see,
that actually happened.
Things Fall Apart was just. I don't know. I feel like I'm desensitized to certain things.
yeah, it's because you're fucking growing up in the 21st
Yeah.
century where everything, where you have all the information of the world at your fingertips and everything just points to the future being shit because the generations before you have fucked everything over.
Boomers, death.
Fucking boomers.
Millennials and Gen Z.
Let's be
Oh,
clear.
God.
So, boomers will often put shit up on like Facebook and Twitter about like, know who you're calling a boomer with fucking World War II veterans. World War II veterans are not boomers.
Yeah.
It's a completely different generation. The World War II veterans, do you know what their generation called boomers?
What?
The boomer was not the initial name. The initial name for that generation was the me generation because the ones before them thought they were all just entitled pricks. Literally every other generation does not like them.
It's that the whole that boomer situation. It's like boomer is the new N-word. It's like what?
Like,
Oh, I fucking love it. I fucking love it.
It's funny, but at the same time, it's like you're stupid.
No, the funniest bit of it is just like they don't
Get it?
like no is that it offends them. Like they'll
Alright.
call
Oh yeah.
they'll call other people, see ya buddy,
yeah,
Oh,
I
hope
gotta
you find
go.
your dad.
I hope I don't.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. This
Bye.
got too real. Oh god. No, they'll call like every other generation like snowflake or libcuck or whatever the fuck, but then you call them boomer and suddenly it's like that's the N-word and then it's just John Mulaney quotes.
Yeah.
You've heard that John Mulaney quote, right?
Yeah.
Where he's talking about the FCC wouldn't let him say the word midget and they're
Yeah.
like, 'cause it's as bad as
like
the N-word. And he
saying
goes,
midget.
no. Because
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
saying the word midget
Yeah, we're not.
and we're not saying the other one.
Yeah. It's so. God, he's a great comedian.
Oh, he's fucking hilarious.
I know. I'm sad that Big Mouth isn't. Well, I mean that's also with like a few other people. But he's a really good comedian that I figured like the comedy in that show would be a little bit better in Big Mouth.
Yeah.
But you know, it's very much falling in that Family Guy, ha 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 ha, style trend. You know.
Yeah, fucking dick jokes. Yeah.
Lois, here's a cutaway. Wow, this has nothing to do with the plot.
To be fair, the cutaways are legitimately the funniest part of Family Guy.
Yeah,
Like-
the cutaways can be funny. There was, except for one, which was about BoJack Horseman, and it shows that like legit the writers don't know anything, and it was like a cutaway, and it was Peter as like the horse, and he was all like, "Ha, jokes, but as a horse." It's like, no, you guys legit don't know anything, do you? Like you didn't even bother to research before you picked, you know.
Speaking of fucking Netflix shows, have you ever watched Dragon Prince?
No, I have not.
Have you ever watched Avatar: The Last Airbender?
No.
Austin,
I know I'm
Austin,
uncultured.
Austin.
I'm uncultured.
No, I mean I'm not. I hope it doesn't come across as me trying to mock you. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm sad for you.
I know.
It's such
because
a
I've
like.
heard that it's really good. Yeah.
No, Avatar: The Last Airbender is, and I do not say this lightly, legitimately in like my top 3 stories of all time.
Yeah.
Not animated shows, not TV shows, not
Just
visual things, just
Yeah.
stories. Like period.
Yeah.
It's so fucking. Do you know like kind of what the general thing is?
Oh yeah,
is
yeah,
of it?
Aang.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the character. Like, well, some of them. I know Aang. He's got the blue arrow.
Yeah,
and
no,
then,
no, but like the general plot.
Yeah.
It's kind of like World War II of Asia, except it's been going for 100 years.
Yeah.
He's the last of all of his people, and he's the only person. Like at 12 years old, they're like,
Mhm.
"All right, dude, you gotta save the world."
Yeah, it's. I really
Because
gotta.
Japan,
Yeah.
because totally not Japan's about to fuck us all.
Yeah,
like-
it's one of those Nickelodeon shows. For some reason that I just didn't. I don't think like whenever I did, I just wasn't attached, or like whenever I was around on Nickelodeon, it just wasn't on, or just like whatever it was on just didn't catch my attention.
Yeah. So Avatar: The Last Airbender, you absolutely need to fucking watch.
Yeah.
It's just a masterpiece of storytelling.
Yeah.
And then Korra, the sequel, is it's not called Korra the sequel. It's called The Legend of Korra,
Yeah.
and it is the sequel to The Last Airbender.
Mhm.
That's solid. I haven't watched that one all the way through, but the Dragon Prince, completely different world,
Mhm.
but made by the same guys.
Oh, nice.
That one is about these 2 brothers. They're princes, and their dad gets assassinated. Keep in mind
Yeah.
this is a kids show. They don't show
Yeah.
the dad getting assassinated, but he's dead. There's a whole lot of racial tension between elves and humans, and then the elves
Mhm.
have dragons on their side. The elves
Oh.
assassinate their dad, and so then there's a whole political thing. And while
Yeah.
these kids are trying to not get assassinated,
Mhm.
they find a dragon egg. That is the
Yeah.
egg of the Prince of Dragons that everybody thought was destroyed, and turns out some dumb fuck human had just brought it back to the human kingdoms and kept it hidden.
Mhm.
So these kids and their new elf companion, who is Scottish, which is just hilarious, decide they're going to bring the egg back.
Yeah.
The animation in the first season is kind of janky, but like
Mhm.
it is. I'm only like 2 episodes into the 3rd season. They're only like
Mhm.
9-episode seasons, so it's not
Not
9
long.
episode.
Yeah.
They're 9 episodes and they're like 26-minute episodes, so it's
Mhm.
it's really not like a huge time commitment.
That's as long as the 2nd season of Drake and Josh. Compare it to something.
27 total episodes at 26 minutes each.
Mhm.
It's real good. It's real good, and like
Yeah.
they did during writing, like they do a real good job of like being inclusive of like everything, like
Mhm.
racial, LGBTQ, whatever the fuck the rest of the letters are. Plus
Airplane.
yeah, like they do a real good job of like getting all that stuff in without being like, fucking look, we have
yeah,
a gay
obnoxious.
character.
Yeah.
It's like
Look. Pay
well, like,
attention to this.
the one of the 2 princes, the crown prince, is him and his dad are both black. And it's his brother is like actually his stepbrother, who's white, so it's like an interracial marriage in the royal family of a human kingdom where it's not a white dude who's the king.
Mm.
And then like their aunt, who's this like badass general, like undeniably a badass,
Yeah.
is deaf,
Huh.
or at least mute.
Yeah.
Like it's just real fucking good.
Yeah,
And
I
it
need to
gets
check
real pretty once you get past like
the first
episode,
season.
yeah,
Ah,
past the first season. Because it's
I
like it's CGI, but it's not like shit CGI.
oh
If that
yeah.
makes sense.
hmm I looked up on Hulu to like add Avatar to my like to watch list, and sadly it's not on here, but the movie is, and I know how bad the
No,
movie is.
no, no.
Yeah.
There is no Avatar movie. There
um.
is no war in Ba Sing Se. The Earth King invites you to Lake Laogai.
God, man, that was made in 2010, or it would have been.
If it existed, it would have been in 2010, but thankfully they stopped production before it hit theaters.
Sadly, Shyamalan died.
M. Night Shyamalan. So M. Night Shyamalan is known for twists. The twist of that movie was that it was just god awful.
You expected it to be somewhat decent and
And
watchable, but no.
well, it wasn't even like the full 3 books. It was the first one.
Mm.
It was like they took the first season and shrunk it down into 90 minutes and thought it was good enough that they were going to be able to make 2 and 3, and everybody that had watched the cartoon was like, you fucking bastardized my favorite thing. How fucking dare you?
God, I remember because I watched the review on that movie, and I remember seeing the after credits thing for the trailer, or for not the trailer, for the quote unquote next movie, and oh, it's not here.
Yeah, no, they do a good job. It's being that it's the same guys. They do a pretty good job of like inclusion shit in Avatar 2, or
Mhm.
as well, not the second. Like, have you seen any of the shit of Toph?
What does he look like again?
Toph is this fucking like 3'6" Chinese girl, Earth Kingdom, but it's basically China. Who's blind and is just a fucking badass.
I think
Like can see
yeah.
through the vibrations in the earth.
Oh, that's cool.
And so like her introduction is her kicking the shit out of like totally not the WWE. Like there's a character called the Boulder,
Yeah.
and it's her just like taking a 6-on-1 fight against these master earthbenders and just wrecking all of them.
Just like, hey, boo.
Yeah, no, legitimately,
Okay.
like she fucking the ring, she like flips half of it and fucking sandwiches a dude. And that's like her introduction. And Aang, who's
my
this
God.
just like, super happy-go-lucky kid goes,
Oh.
teach me how to move rocks.
God, but I always like it when they have characters like that, where it's like, yeah, I'm blind, like Daredevil. It's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm blind, but like I
I'm-
use my hearing and my sense of smell or whatever.
I'm not badass despite being blind. I'm badass because I'm
Cause
blind.
yeah, it's like I use my disability to
To be fair,
my advantage.
Daredevil's a little weirder with that whole thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, this is Marvel, so like, because it was just chemicals, he doesn't just go blind. He goes blind, but he gets like super
X-ray
everything else
blind.
senses. He can pretty much fucking hear thoughts.
Yeah, he might as well be a Doctor or Mr. X from the X-Men.
Fucking Professor X, you mean?
Yeah, Professor X.
I fucking miss the Daredevil show. That was such a good goddamn show.
Daredevil's that one Marvel superhero that I really want to like get into, but the movie sucked.
The movie sucked dick.
And there was supposed to be a game for like the PS2 and Xbox and GameCube in the early 2000s.
It's okay if that didn't, get made.
Well, I watched a video on the development, and it was God, if I remember correctly, I think it was by the same people that made Spider-Man 2. So I had trust. I had hope, but unfortunately it got scrapped. And I'm like, oh, all right, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, no, was it so the interesting note with the Daredevil show,
Mm-hmm.
the guy that plays Daredevil, and then the lady that plays the assistant, or Karen, I think is her name.
Yeah.
So like, both of them are huge fucking D&D nerds.
Oh, nice.
Like, huge.
Oh, that's cool. I always like it when celebrities have that, like, it's like, yeah, like Robin Williams, like how
Yeah.
he legit named his daughter Zelda. It's like, bro.
Yeah. which is funny because that all goes back to The Great Gatsby.
Yeah.
Um, no, who was it? So you know Sofia Vergara?
I think.
She's the Colombian wife in Modern Family.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So her actual husband,
Mhm.
who, he's like such a huge fucking D&D nerd that he has a fucking, I swear to God, D&D room in their house that's got like a fucking
That's
beholder hanging from
cool.
the ceiling and like dragon heads mounted on the walls.
That's cool. God.
Yeah, apparently like Vin Diesel plays with him. Like yeah,
Vin
like
Diesel.
it's all these people in Hollywood that you'd be like, they don't play nerd shit. They're like,
Yeah. It's
this
like,
is my fucking life.
It's like, yo, Brad Pitt, you coming over for some Mario Kart? Ah, yeah. It's like, that's cool. I got who? There's one celebrity. If I remember correctly, they
I know
because
Henry Cavill is a huge fucking Total War fan.
they're
Like
because
Superman would just like between takes go to his laptop and fucking like play like Total War Rome and like Civ 6, like just in the full
That's cool.
Superman stuff. He'd just sit
Yeah.
there and just. I think he missed his the call from Zack Snyder telling him that he got the role of Superman because he was doing a raid in World of Warcraft,
Oh yeah, that's
and he's
yeah.
and he's playing fucking Geraldo de Rivera, which
Yeah.
I've heard that that's supposed to be like really fucking good.
Mm. Yeah.
Something about like the fights of The Witcher, the TV show,
Yeah.
make Game of Thrones fights look like two drunk men slapping each other.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a Witcher is that out or
It's coming. They're
yeah.
filming it, but it's like
Mm.
based on like the books, not the games. So it'll be
Oh
like
yeah.
a younger Geralt that's
Uh-huh.
he won't have as many of his scars yet,
Yeah.
and
I'm
apparently it's
sure
going to be a
they'll
lot like darker than the games
yeah.
are, which I
I'm
am all for.
yeah. That's always cool when like there's a game or a book that turns into a game that's turned into a show and it's actually like has care.
Decent.
Yeah. Like the Witcher
And
show.
just not fucking Aragon.
Yeah.
I fucking loved those books. Like all four of them. Like
Mhm.
all of them. I was like, these are the greatest. And then I found out there was a movie made about it, and I was like, what? There's a movie.
Yeah,
Started
you're
the
like,
movie. So it's the first book is like 42 chapters or something like that. Like it's like a hefty, like the edition that I have of it is like a solid like 2-3 inches thick,
mhm.
or closer to 4. Right? So like it's a thick book,
Yeah.
right? They spend
Yeah.
out of a 90-minute movie, they spend 30 minutes on the first like 25% of the book. And then went, "Oh fuck, we're not going to have time for this and this isn't Lord of the Rings. We got to fucking shove the rest of it together." And so the other 75% of the book takes up an hour.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Like the pacing of the first like 20 to 30 minutes of the movie, I'm like, yeah, dude, this is fucking, even like 8-year-old me when I saw it, I was like, this is, yeah, let's do this. And then they're like, and then his house burns down and they're halfway across the kingdom by now. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck? There's like several important character development points in there
you
that you
skipped
just
all of
fucking
this.
delete. Like, it's literally like he gets the dragon, and the dragon, like, they show the dragon, it's tiny,
Mhm.
and they're like, alright. You're like, alright, cool. And then it's him with the dragon, like, it starts out like the size of a kitten,
Yeah.
right? And then they show it at like the size of like a little smaller than like a golden retriever.
Mhm.
And then it's an adult
But
within like
like a
month.
millisecond. Oh.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like, even in that, I think the time skip is technically like he has it for like 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks before it's like just large enough for him to like, before it's able to carry him.
Yeah.
And it just like, yeah, bye. It's
Like,
just
yeah,
like, hey,
I've
this
been
whole, this
here.
whole thing of like him and the dragon like having to figure out how to not get seen by all the people in his town and trying to figure out like what the hell were the dragon riders. They just skip that. They're like, yeah, there's this old dude. He'll help you out. And then his house gets burned down by the king's evil henchman, and he's like, oh, fuck. Guess we're gonna go join the fucking rebels in this fucking dwarf city.
Mm-hmm. It's like,
and run from the totally not orcs.
Yeah, but I gotta watch that. There are a lot of shows I gotta get to.
I mean, yeah, Dragon Prince and Avatar. Do not watch the Aragon movie. Read the books.
Yeah.
Read all 4 of them. They're fucking great. The 3rd one is kind of a letdown because it really just exists to get him his sword. But the first one, the 2nd one, and the 4th one are all fucking incredible.
Mm-hmm.
The 3rd one's not terrible. It's just like they went like ramping up the speed and they hit like fucking we're going super fucking fast. How the fuck are we gonna go any faster? And then went, oh fuck, we're going too fast and hit the brakes. So you get a little bit of whiplash, and then the 4th one they're like, hey, you know what you thought was gonna happen in the 3rd book? Yeah, bitches, let's roll. Like the 3rd book is essentially the equivalent of like Luke going to Dagobah.
Yeah.
Like everything that happens between episodes 5 and 6 of Star Wars, of like, why the fuck does Luke know everything that he's doing now? Why does he have a fucking lightsaber? Why like da da da? It's that, but the book. There's a lot of Star Wars parallels. It's real weird when you look back, but it's real fantasy, and it's he gives like an actual sustainable way to bring back this old order instead of I'm Luke Skywalker, I'm gonna just make the Jedi and oh fuck, my grandson is evil, or my nephew's evil.
Yeah. It's like, oh man, Han, what you do? Yeah, but also Mitch, I don't when there's that like empty silence, because I don't know, well I do know why, because my internet's garbage. When there's like an empty silence, I'm waiting for you, because I don't know why. You'll lag for me, or like you'll cut off, and I'm just waiting for your like voice to cut back in, because I don't want to cut you off. So like if there's ever that moment of silence where I'm like, yeah, I'm just like, okay, wait, he's done talking. Okay. So but yeah, but I feel, how long have we been going for? 57 minutes. Okay. I feel that the last thing, and of course I actually, yeah, I'll bring this up again for if we got more people.
Yeah, I was gonna say the things that you had on the list are like real good if we've got like 4 or 5 people. Yeah. Especially considering I wasn't there for Black Friday with you guys. Yeah. I never watched YouTube Rewind 2019, and I have not seen I've seen like maybe 3 frames of Rick and Morty season 4. Just the frames that have been memed.
Rick and Morty season 4, it's a lot better. Well, actually, yeah, it's really good. It's especially in the fan base wise, you don't have people going, you know,
give me the fucking Szechuan sauce,
you know, which is nice, and I hope they don't have a thing like that happen again.
Oh dear God, please no.
Yeah, but I mean, Justin Roiland did go on H3, and they made a video like looking at like all the cringy stuff, and like he's aware of it, and I'm glad that he is, so that way he knows like to avoid doing something like that again.
Well, like, did you ever see when he went on that podcast to raise money for Houston?
No, I did not.
He called Joel Osteen's church as Rick to try and talk to Joel Osteen to ask him why he wouldn't let people in the church. He goes, he calls it's this woman, and she's doing she's like, it's like a phone prayer thing.
Yeah.
Which, like, you pay them money. And they'll give you like a prayer. And he goes in Rick voice, what do you mean this is like a phone prayer service? I don't need that. And they're like, well, sir, and he just goes, gobble boo boo gee boo babu, woo boo dee boo babu wabu. He goes, see, I'm speaking in tongues, and I got you laughing now. Ha. Can I speak to Mr. Osteen now? And they're like, no, he's not in today. And he goes, what do you mean? This is a church. There's people fucking drowning out there. What do you mean he's not in?
God, Justin Roiland has such a great improv talent. Like,
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure he's got like 2 games out. Like, one's the accounting game, and then the other's the one VR PlayStation.
yeah, VR
game.
World or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just like
What is it? Sasquatch Studios or something like that?
Yeah, I think so.
Fucking no. I find it hilarious that him and Alex Hirsch, I think, the guy that made Gravity Falls, are like best friends.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I always like it when cause like usually when you're younger, you're like, oh, the creator of something like, I don't know, like The Simpsons or South Park, you know, they wouldn't know someone who made SpongeBob, but it's like, no, of course they do. They probably went to the same schools together, you know. Like I'm pretty sure JG Quintel, the creator of Regular Show, knows Roiland and Alex Hirsch too.
Yeah, I mean, there's a certain like fucking Gravity Falls.
Mm.
That show, I don't know how they got away with marketing it at kids.
Yeah, it was.
There are
God,
so many jokes that are just not child appropriate in
Yeah.
any way whatsoever. Like they go into Stan's room one time, open up this like foot chest, to like, you know, I don't know what they were trying to find, but they were trying to find something. And Dipper fucking pulls out this magazine, and it's Fully Clothed Women magazine, and I'm like,
Yeah.
holy shit, you got away with that. Or they're when they go out fishing, and Stan makes this joke about like, my ex-wife still misses me,
Yeah.
but her aim is getting better. And I'm like,
Better.
you did not just make that joke. Holy shit.
God, that was such a fun show. I'm so sad that or I like the twist too when it got to that twist for spoilers if you haven't seen Gravity Falls and you have any interest in watching it, but
Disney
when
Plus.
when they were finding out that Grunkle Stan and like he had a twin brother and everything, and like that like whole
I've been around the world. Trust me,
Yeah.
whatever it is, I'll understand.
yeah
There's nothing about this that I understand.
yeah, but like that entire like episode and stuff, like just how dark it got too, and like real, it's like, bro, oh,
Yeah.
it was a really good show.
Yeah, that one and Phineas and Ferb was like another one of those where it was like, wow, that
Yeah, Phineas and Ferb and like God, there were so many good shows for the last decade. Wait, did Phineas and Ferb start? Was 2009, I think, right? It started.
that might have been the first one, but like it was Phineas and Ferb. I will say like is to me like the last, like one of the last truly like great cartoons. Like
Yeah.
it seems like everything after that and Gravity Falls was like has just been like has been like
Mediocre.
Teen Titans Go type shit.
Yeah.
Of, like
Teen
just
Titans goes terrible. Yeah.
fucking the original Teen Titans. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Teen Titans Big Trouble in Tokyo.
Oh my God, that was such a good movie. Yeah, and also I just googled Phineas and Ferb. Its first episode was in August of 2007.
Was that during High School Musical 2?
Maybe.
The only reason I say that is because that is all I remember from High School Musical 2. I think
Yeah.
I've been over this before, but I just remembered them doing the roller coaster episode, and then something about a fucking golf club that they were all working at in the middle of fucking Arizona or some shit. I don't even fucking Santa Fe. I don't. That entire fucking canon is just shit.
Yeah.
That's right. Fight me, bitches.
Yeah. High School Musical 2, same day as
Yep.
Phineas and Ferb, August 17th. August 17th.
Oh god, it was the day before my birthday. That's right. I remember because like my next door neighbor, they were like, it was my best friend, and like fucking his family had decided, yeah, we're gonna have all the neighborhood kids over. This was in Sundance, where Justin and I used to live.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, yeah, we'll have all the neighborhood kids over, and they'll watch High School Musical 2. And I was in the commercials for it. They were like, hey, we're having this sneak peek of this new show that's gonna be coming this summer. And I was like, what is this? It was like, it's called Phineas and Ferb, and I was like, those are stupid names. And then the episode came on, and it was the roller coaster, and I was like, All right, this is actually this is
I'm
pretty
intrigued.
good. I'm intrigued. And then it went back to the melodrama of Troy and whatever the fuck her name is.
I like how you had that hesitation, like Troy.
No, I know it's
Whatever.
Troy because Zac Efron. Zac Efron is
Yeah.
funny. Vanessa Hudgens, whatever the fuck her character was.
I think it's Hug and Kiss or something.
Like, no, her last name is definitely Hudgens. She had, like, I literally know that she was in that, and then she was in some fucking, like, Echo Unlimited commercial. If you remember that shoe brand. And then fucking nothing since then. I literally don't know if she's been in anything in the last 10 years.
She's vanished.
The only person who has done anything since High School Musical,
Zac Efron.
Zac Efron, and then technically Ashley Tisdale. Because she was Candace.
Oh yeah.
Like, the entirety of it. Like, so,
Yeah.
I know she's done, like, other stuff, but she hasn't really been, like, actual in front of a camera. But, like, none of the other people in there, I know there were, like, 5 or 6 or something that were, like, all...
Yeah.
We're the main cast of High School Musical, and the only one of them that's had any sort of fucking career since then in, like, film is Zac Efron.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that means that he just carried the entire fucking series, or if the
Yeah.
rest of them were just dog shit.
That's typically the thing with like Disney stars. Like you look at Zendaya, it's like she's in like the Marvel movies now,
Which is
and
still
everything.
Disney.
Oh yeah. And she left Disney and she got pulled right back.
No, she left the mouse and went to Disney. She's like, yeah, I don't need to be under,
Shake It Up.
specifically Disney and
Yeah.
Shake It Up and that bullshit with Bella Thorne, who is an absolute fucking nutwhack.
Yeah.
She goes, I'm just gonna, go be Mary Jane Watson, which that is the least faithful Mary Jane Watson they have ever come up with. She's supposed to be Ginger.
She's not Ginger.
It's not MJ.
Yeah, but
Where the
Oh my
fuck
God.
is Gwen Stacy?
yes, come
Oh
on,
wait,
bring her
no,
in.
she's in a coffin.
Oh. Oh. I mean, you're right, but at the same time, oh.
That's my. Did you play the Spider-Man for PS4?
Yes. I did.
Yeah, that's my question for that. Is like, is Gwen Stacy already dead? Because I know the
Yeah.
lizard happened, but like, is Gwen Stacy already dead in that game?
Yeah, that's my. It's weird because it's like you throw MJ in there, but then you throw Gwen. It's like, all right, what's happening now?
Well,
It's like,
technically, I think in the comics, Gwen Stacy came first, and then they killed her off, and they were like, well, we can't have Peter Parker
Alone
without
and
a fucking
sad.
love interest, yeah, because
Yeah.
he'll fucking kill himself. And so they went, all right, let's fucking let's bring a fucking ginger bitch in this shit, and
It's like he's just in a bathtub. He's like, Spider-Man,
oh, let's be.
Spider-Man.
Have you seen Into the Spider-Verse? That's
Yeah,
pretty much
yeah.
what happens to him without fucking a woman.
MJ,
is he just fucking like gets depressed.
It's so funny.
And I mean, like, I feel you, dude.
Yeah. It's like, man, let me join you. Give me a pizza. Give me a slice. Oh. But yeah, Spider-Man's really good. How long
Just
have we-
as a character.
Oh yeah. We've been an hour and 8 minutes.
Yeah, we can carry on a conversation. Go us.
Woo!
We're not
Yeah.
just depressed pieces of shit.
Spider-Man! Spider-Man!
Does whatever a spider can. Oh, God. I'm social!
Yeah,
And
it's like
that's the episode title.
I'm social. Yeah, an introvert when he goes outside for the first time. I'm social.
Somebody comes up, hey, how's your day been? No, interaction, no.
Oh my god. But is it okay? I think this will be the last thing. But is it just me? But whenever I go out into public and like I'll be at like a store or whatever, and like I don't, or like someone's like, oh, do you want change or whatever, but I don't hear them. Do you just like have the tendency to be like, uh-huh, and like nod?
I usually, I'll be honest, especially when I go to Meijer, because I fucking hate everything about Meijer except for the fact that they have like everything there. No, like legitimate. I worked there for like 7 months, and if you work in a Meijer for 7 months, you fucking hate everyone in there. Like it doesn't matter if it's been 3 years now since I worked at that Meijer. I fucking hate everyone in there. Like just legitimately every single person in there. Like they were just like fucking cutthroat over shit. And I'm like this 17-year-old kid that's like, look, I'm pushing carts and my blood sugar's low. I'm sorry that I was eating food because my fucking blood sugar was low. And they're like, you can't fucking do that. If you do that shit again, we'll fire you. And I'm like, fuck you. No, like I go through the self-checkout and I make sure that I never hit 20 items specifically so that I don't have to talk to people. Like the greeters will be like, "Hi, welcome to Meijer. How are you doing today?" And I just have to like suppress. I have to suppress the urge to sneer at them because I'm just like, "Why are you talking to me? I don't like this."
Look, I don't know how much I do know how much you're getting paid to say how's your day, but
I know you're paid like dog shit. You're worth more than this.
I remember one time, me, Evan, Nick, and Brenden, we went to Meijer's because we had to grab something, and then we went to the self-checkout, and apparently we skipped in line for the self-checkout, which I don't understand because there was no line, or at least one that was not formed or visible. And this lady comes up behind us, and she's like, this employee, and she's like, or I forgot what she said first, but she's like, you guys know you just cut, right? We're like, she's like, you guys know you just cut the line, right? And I'm like, and we were just like, what line? Like what line? We were looking around, and she never directed us to where the line was, so we were just kind of lost, and then we were like, oh, we're sorry about that, you know, we didn't mean to, we just didn't see a line or whatever. And then she went off and told another employee. It's like, all right,
we're
listen
just gonna
here.
finish paying for our shit and we're gonna leave. We've got like fucking 2 things of Coke. Do you want us to fucking like unscan them and?
Legit, it was the only people that had anything was Brenden, Emmett, and then Nick. That was it, and they were like, and I'm pretty sure they combined both their items. So it was at, you know, either way, it's like, what? Why would you have to complain about that? It was.
It's because you're 17. That woman has never done. I assume it was a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that woman has never done anything worthwhile with her life, and so she's getting off on the power trip that she has over you.
It's like, I can assert some dominance!
No, fucking, that's literally every manager at that store. I assume it was the one on street?
Yeah.
Yeah. Every single fucking manager at that store is like, I have power. I have fucking power. I will use this power on anybody that dares challenge my power. And I'm just like, and I'm, even at like fucking 17, I saw this happen like probably a good 10 different times. And every single time I was just looking at him like, you're a fucking shift manager at a goddamn Meijer.
Yeah, they're all like, you want to know what my theme song is? Power by Kanye West. It's like, guess that's how unstoppable I am.
I am the fucking greatest. Hard cuts to their home life where it's just them sitting alone, smoking fucking 4 packs of cigarettes a day.
But yeah, it's I always, well, like when employees do that or whatever, I always have like that moment of hesitation where I have to plan out what I gotta say. I'm like, yes. It sucks. Because I know I'll say something stupid.
Yeah, that's the curse of not being, you know, extroverted. Like that's whenever something goes wrong with the fucking self-checkout thing, I'm just like, I just literally I'll just sit there and be like, fuck.
Yeah.
Now I gotta talk to somebody. That was one time. Justin and I were buying snacks for D&D, and fucking Noah Oral was there with us, and something like went wrong with the thing, and Justin and I are both just sitting there looking at it like, well, how the fuck do we fix this? And Noah just walks over to the employee and goes, "Hey, that self checkout thing's got an issue. Could you help us fix it?" The person's like, "Oh yeah, sure." And Justin and I are both like,
How'd you do that?
How did you do that? How did you just walk up to a person that you don't know and talk to them? How?
I remember one time I went to GameStop and I drove there. And this was when I had my permit.
See, I don't have that issue with GameStop, because GameStop, I'm like, all right, you guys are like, you're disgusting, sweaty nerds, but like at least I know that you'll understand when I say shit.
Yeah. Well, actually, the guys at this GameStop, the one that's next to the Target, they're actually kind of cool. Like they're really
the
cool
Mount
guys.
the Mount Pleasant Game Shop is like, I walked in there and there was a dude wearing a Shrek hat, like a beanie, like knitted wool Shrek hat, and I was like, dude.
But I remember I walked into GameStop one time and I drove there with my permit, and apparently. Because what the plan was is because my mom and my sisters, they were going down to Dunham's or Five Below, I think. So my mom was like, okay, you just drop yourself off there and then we'll switch. So I was like, okay. So I stopped the car in front of GameStop, and I swear to God, I swear on my life, I put that thing in park. I got out of the car and it started rolling.
No, you put it in fucking neutral.
No, I put it in park, but I think it like must have went back down or something. And
no,
so
you probably thought you moved it into park and it just didn't go all the way, and so when you stepped out, it fucking was still in neutral.
Yeah, but so it started rolling and I quickly got back in, and so I was already embarrassed enough. I was like,
did you ghost ride the whip?
Unfortunately, no. I didn't have my cash on me, but I remember I went inside. And the guy was like, "Yeah, you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, just must have slipped or whatever." And so after a while, I looking around, I get my game, and I go to pay, and he's like, "Yeah, have a good day, enjoy your new game." And I'm like, "Yeah, thanks, you too." And I was like,
yeah. I have a friend who works at the Red Lobster up here.
Yeah.
He was like the host, like the guy that you're like, oh, okay, how many? And he would specifically, he started getting shifts as a waiter, and he would specifically say, "Enjoy your meal," because he liked to see people's faces when they went "you too." He was like, I get such a sick fucking sadistic joy out of that shit. He goes, like, you have no idea how hilarious it is, because like they realize as soon as they say "you," and then they just have to say "too."
Yeah, it's like you
too. Fuck.
Oh my God, but that stuff is the worst. I always hate that. I like whenever I step into a restaurant, I'm like, do not say "you too" unless it is thank you. Do not say "you too."
Not even thank you.
Yeah, just don't even respond. Just be like, yes.
Understood.
Just nod
affirmative.
Your head. Just don't even have a blank,
Copy that.
Emotionless. Copy that, Bravo 6.
Bravo 6 going dark.
Copy that, Bravo 6 going eating. Commencing eat food operation. But yeah. It's been about an hour 20. I think we can call this good for an episode.
3 more hours. We need to get the dank number. I'm kidding. We're not fucking doing that.
Yeah. But yeah, I would like to thank you for joining us today. I'm Austin, and I was Mitchell.
Yeah.
And Brenden for part of it.
And the rest of them are fucking flakes.
Justin's internet is doo-doo garbage. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed.
But the other not Nick two are flakes.
Yeah. And I hope you enjoyed. And bye-bye.
Adios.